The night was supposed to be quiet, calm, just another early morning in Los Angeles where dreams are made, broken, and sometimes stolen forever. But at 1 a.m. on November 22nd, that quiet shattered. The rising Latin star we knew as Delarosa, born Maria Dear Rosa, was sitting in a parked car on Bryant Street, completely unaware that her final moments were seconds away. What happened next has been described by investigators as nothing short of an ambush. A young life full of promise, music, and fire was suddenly extinguished. She was only 22 years old. Before we get into what really happened that night, let's start with what makes this story even more heartbreaking. Just 3 months earlier, Delarosa released her debut single, Me Llames, a track that hinted at enormous potential. Her voice was raw, emotional, filled with that rare authenticity that makes a new artist feel like they're about to explode into the mainstream. Fans were beginning to pay attention. Music pages were starting to repost her clips, and on Instagram, she had just uploaded photos of herself inside a recording studio, headphones on, neon lights behind her, teasing brand new music that will now never be released the way she dreamed. But on this day, everything changed. Police say 3 people were sitting inside a vehicle when some kind of altercation occurred. Moments later, multiple shots were fired, not 1 or 2, but a burst of gunfire that shattered the glass, ripped through the doors, and turned that car into a trap. Before anyone could escape, Delarosa was hit. 2 other people were left injured, fighting to survive, and by the time officers arrived, it was too late. The rising singer who was supposed to represent a new wave in Latin music lay still, her future slipping away before she even got a chance to see how far her talent could take her. The location itself, Bryant Street, is now a crime scene fenced off with yellow tape. But for fans, family, and anyone who followed her brief but bright journey, it has become something else. A place of loss. A reminder of how quickly violence can erase a life full of rhythm, lyrics, and dreams. As authorities work to understand what really happened, many are asking the same questions. Who targeted a 22-year-old artist with her entire career ahead of her? Was she the intended victim? Was this tied to a personal dispute, a misunderstanding, or something much darker? Right now, LAPD has not released any motive, suspects, or details on the possible shooter. It's as if this tragedy is wrapped in silence, with police holding back information while the public tries to piece together the truth. Fans, devastated and confused, have turned her last Instagram post into a digital memorial. This can't be real. You were just getting started. Fly high, Angel. Those messages flood the comments under her recording studio pictures. The heartbreaking part? Those posts radiate hope. She looked excited, focused, committed. Her smile said she was on the brink of something great. She had no idea those would be her final shared moments on social media. To really understand the weight of this loss, we need to go back to who Delarosa was. Born as Maria Dear Rosa, she grew up surrounded by music. Friends said she was the kind of person who turned ordinary moments into melodies, humming as she walked, writing lyrics on random scraps of paper, recording voice notes of hooks she didn't want to forget. When she finally adopted her stage name Delarosa, everything about her identity clicked. Bold, expressive, emotional. The name suited her. It gave her a platform to express the power, passion, and heartache embedded in Latin music. Her first single, Me Llames, wasn't just a song. It was a statement. It introduced the world to a young woman who understood heartbreak but refused to let it define her. The track blended catchy rhythm with heartbreak-heavy lyrics, and fans quickly began calling her the new voice of Latin heartbreak anthems. Radio stations weren't playing it yet, but TikTok began picking up pieces of her sound. Her fan base started to grow organically, the best way for a true artist to rise. But just as she was getting ready for her next chapter, new songs, new visuals, new features, tragedy struck. Let's break down the night of November 22nd in more detail. According to LAPD, the shooting occurred just after 1 a.m. when Delarosa and 2 other individuals were inside a parked car. The area was quiet. No loud music, no crowds, nothing unusual. Suddenly, an altercation began. We don't yet know if it was verbal, physical, or something more complicated. And then gunfire erupted. Police have confirmed that multiple shots were fired into the vehicle from outside. It wasn't random shooting into the air, it wasn't accidental, this was direct. Targeted, ambush style. Someone wanted to inflict harm, and they succeeded. Both survivors were rushed to the hospital, where they are recovering. Their statements, once fully taken, may become the key to revealing what really happened. Were the attackers known to the victims? Was this planned, or did something escalate unexpectedly? These are the questions detectives are working around the clock to answer. What makes tragedies like this even more complicated is the lack of immediate suspects. With no arrests, no descriptions, and no motive publicly shared, fans are left to speculate. Some fear this may have been personal. Others wonder if this could be connected to the rising trend of violence targeting young artists. In the past few years, we've seen heartbreaking stories from across genres. Young musicians becoming victims of gun violence before their careers even begin. And now the name Delarosa joins that list. Insiders in the Latin music community have already chimed in with their reactions. One producer familiar with her early work said, "She had that spark, the kind you don't teach, the kind that makes labels pay attention. Losing her this early is devastating." Another rising artist who posted a tribute on Instagram wrote, "We were supposed to collaborate. I can't believe this industry is losing too many young voices." Fans have also pointed out how eerie her final Instagram post feels now. In the pictures, Delarosa is inside a recording booth, wearing a black hoodie, hand on the headphones, looking over her shoulder with a small smile. The caption hinted at new music coming soon. It was meant to be an exciting announcement, the sign that she was entering a new era. Instead, those images are now a painful reminder of how unpredictable life can be. Experts who study public safety in Los Angeles say shootings of this nature are often complicated. An ambush suggests premeditation, but an altercation suggests escalation. Was she involved in the dispute? Was she collateral damage? Authorities haven't said. And until they do, the public will be left in a state of heartbreak and confusion. The impact of this tragedy extends beyond just fans and the music industry. For many young people in the Latin community, Delarosa represented a new kind of star. Independent, unapologetic, and ready to claim her own space. She wasn't born into fame, she was building it bit by bit, song by song, post by post. The loss of that kind of rising artist hits differently because it represents not just the end of a life, but the end of possibilities. Comparing this to past tragedies in music, many are reminded of young artists whose lives were taken just as they were stepping into the spotlight. The pattern is heartbreaking and all too familiar: promise, potential, momentum, and suddenly, silence. Fans of Delarosa are now experiencing the same pain that fans of other young fallen artists felt. The shock, the disbelief, the what could have been. As for her future music, it's unclear whether anything she recently recorded will be released. Her team has not made a statement yet, leaving fans to wonder if the world will ever hear the songs she poured her heart into in her final days. The studio photos she shared now carry even deeper meaning. They might contain her last work, her last melodies, her last emotional imprint on this world. What does this tragedy mean for her legacy? For starters, Delarosa will be remembered as a young artist who was on the verge of breaking through. Her single, Me Llames, will now likely see a surge in streams as fans honor her by listening to the music she left behind. Her journey, although cut short, will inspire other young musicians to cherish their craft and pursue it with the intensity she had. In the Latin community, her name will be spoken with sadness but also with respect. A reminder of the fragility of dreams and the importance of protecting young talent. In the end, the story of Delarosa is not just about a life lost. It's about a voice silenced before the world got the chance to hear it fully. It's about a dream interrupted. It's about a young woman who believed in her music and was ready to share it with the world. And now her story becomes a cautionary tale about violence, vulnerability, and the unpredictable nature of life. Authorities continue asking for the public's help. Anyone with information is urged to come forward. Because Delarosa deserves justice, her family deserves answers, her fans deserve closure. And her legacy deserves to be remembered not for how she died, but for the brilliance she showed while she was here.